want to see. Get well soon, Stubbsy.
Yes, absolutely echo that, Hazel. Did a lot of work on the snooker here over the years, did Ray, and we wish you well. Not the best break-off from Stephen Hendry. The old rhyme, when breaking off, whatever you do, don't catch the blue. And that's what he's done, and left a mid-range pot now for Stuart. I was talking to Stuart Bingham last evening. He was really looking forward to this. I'll be disappointed he missed that. Turned professional, Stuart, in 1995, and the only time these two players have ever met was in the Crucible Theatre.
Can you switch down your earpiece, please?
When he shocked everybody by beating Stephen Hendry. They've never played since.
Yeah, that was on the first day when Stephen was champion as well, to make it even more of an achievement. Strange though, isn't it? Because it is roles reversed in that that man on screen is the seeded player, and Stephen's had to qualify. And I thought Stephen played well enough in his qualifier as well. There's a lot of decent Chinese players coming through. And he beat a player called Yu Delu, who'd had some good run of wins up to that match. Hendry was too good for him on the day. Over 2 days, actually, that match in particular. So good to see him back here. What a shot. Well, that's as well as you see anyone hit a ball all the way through this championship. Beautifully struck.
Yes, and if there was one thing that everybody questions with the Stephen Hendry of today and the one of yesterday, was his long potting, and that long pot to get him in here will be a confidence booster. Just about on this red, but he can't play for the black because he's not available into the left corner, so he's going to have to try and manoeuvre the cue ball back up for the blue, you would have thought. No, he missed it, and because he missed it, he caught the other red and went in off. And we're talking about two experienced players here. Spare a thought for the referee. Su Ying is refereeing her first ever match at the Crucible Theatre. So what a day for that young lady.
He's looking at the pot here. The cue ball got to find a way out of where the reds are somehow. It was a natural to get away from the reds up to the middle pocket, but he didn't get very close to the pot. I'm sure Stephen will be nervous though, John, despite all his history here. This is another day, and the fact that he's had to qualify, he doesn't play quite so many matches under this kind of pressure now, so I'm sure he'll be a bit jittery, as you'd hope. It almost would be unnatural if he wasn't nervous.
Yeah, I think when you get to the stage of Stephen's career, it's like you're never certain how you're going to play. And that's what gets you on edge. Am I going to hit the ball well today? You know, whereas in the 90s, it was just a given. He was going to come out and he was going to cue well and he was going to play well. Now I think he just turns up and hoping that all the hard work and practice he has put in comes to fruition. Snookered on all the reds. He slipped past the intended red. That was the one he went to hit now. Has he left anything? Lucky if he hasn't.
Yeah, it was quite a big target, the side of the pack there, which Stuart slid past. This red just about goes. I wonder if it can get onto the black into the same pocket. I think it goes now. It's half a chance. That'll do. Stephen's preparation has been different this week. He qualified at the weekend, and he's been in China. Came back from China on Thursday evening. That's an unusual preparation, one I don't think he would have taken on a few years ago, but maybe that'll help him to relax, just taking his mind off this match, being away. Spoke to his dad, Gordon, about it, and he said, well, look, you know, sitting in first class on an aeroplane,
8.
it's not that bad, is it? And he looks pretty fresh today.
Nine.
Slight misjudgment there. I mean, if he was going to run into the second red and knew it, maybe he should have played at a bit more pace to bring the cue ball round off 2 cushions. Oh, terrible kick. The black
Stuart
just
Hendry,
went
9.
straight on.
Yep.
Dear me. Just watch the black. Straight on it went. And you get that the first day of any major tournament, mainly because the doors are open while the people are getting the venue ready and get a bit of dampness in the air. I know we've got the under-table heaters, but it can sometimes be affected as Zhu Ying. That's the delicate job of replacing the cue ball. Steady hand.
And that was a tester for any referee, that one, wasn't it? Very intricate in there. She did a good job. That kick, I've never seen one straighten up quite like that for a long time. It was a horrible contact. We don't want it, all of that in this championship. I mean, the shot he played before was a bad one, but the miss was not his fault at all on the black. I mean, this is... It's gone straight on, isn't it? That's a terrible, terrible one.
1.
In the end, resorted to the red to the left middle. He had one to the left corner, but he was hampered. He could never get really good on the colour. It was a tough blue, and of course, what happens at the Crucible, just as he's about to play that big shot, applause from the other side of the wall. You've got to have 100% concentration on every shot here. There it is. That's the atmosphere we talk about. Unique.
Yeah, talking about the wall, I was wondering actually, John, whether it was going to stay up this year, because a lot of other venues have knocked them down. Not sure if it would work here. It's very intimate in there, not much room. But say 1 or 2 other venues have decided to do away with all of that.
Yeah, I think particularly in this arena, I think the tables are a bit too close together to... I mean, you'd have other players, if they were both on the same side, nearly touching one another. I don't think you could have that. And I like the wall.
Yeah, I guess it's all part, John, of keeping everything as it is at the Crucible. Other tournaments, there's been many changes made, but you almost kind of want this tournament to stay exactly how it is. And he's held for the black.
6.
And this wouldn't go down as an easy shot he's taking on here.
No. But he had no hesitation in playing for it, but this is missable. But no problem. Right in the heart of the pocket.
13. 14.
Well, I suppose he's rolled the black along that cushion. Will he play on the red in the same way, or will he try and develop them? I don't think the shot is on to go into the pack. So he's thinking that maybe they're not playing that difficult down that cushion. It's all about getting the angle right. And
21.
once again, he looks to be A1 on this. Just to drop it in. He overcut it though.
Stephen Hendry, 21.
I guess it's never been an easy shot to put the ball down a cushion. I thought he'd get it though, I have to say.
Yeah, but particularly when they're just off the cushion. If it had been tight to the cushion, I wouldn't have fancied him missing it, but just off the cushion. And now here's a chance for Stuart. He's got a perfect angle on this black to cannon into that cluster. Just not really got going yet. He's not had a clear-cut chance, but if he pots this black and opens these reds nicely, this could be a frame winner.
I think he's played that as well as you could. Got the screw on it, and the cue ball didn't drift too far down the table. He's left himself a mid-range red. And that was a little bit like
Stuart
the blue
Bingham,
that he missed,
8.
which of course was more difficult, but he kind of didn't really get through it. And really accelerate through the ball, and you tend to overcut balls when that happens. Just a bit nervous, isn't he?
At the moment, I think more than a bit.
Well, that's a nice shot, with the cue ball just drifting a bit to the side cushion, but it never touched the sides, this. He's got a slight angle on the black, which is in his favour. Just get the cue ball up the table. Yeah, that's all right. That's a decent shot, as long as he gets a little lucky. Yeah, then.
8.
He didn't actually pop the black into the middle of the pocket. He potted it on the thick side, so the cue ball didn't go up past the pink as he would have hoped. So it looks like end of break. That red won't pass the other one to the right middle. Was he looking at the two-ball plant? That would be incredibly difficult. He just got to play the run away. And he can't really play safe to the bulkhead with the red just past the right middle. It would have to be a very accurate safety shot if he did play it. I think he's looking at this two-ball plant, but maybe to get the cue ball back down towards the black. Very difficult shot if he does play it. Such a distance between the two reds here. Yeah, I think he had the cue ball in mind there as much as the pot.
Seems to be an easy shot here for Stuart. Two reds in between the pink and black. Just roll to the left-hand one, dead weight, shouldn't leave anything. Because at the moment he's got to be very careful. He can't just return to this balk end. There's a danger of leaving that red to the right middle. As Neil mentioned when Stephen was playing his safety, you can't just go up to the other end of the table. Decided he could cover that red near the right middle with the two reds in the centre of the table, and it looks as though he's played it quite well. So maybe just a little roll up for Stephen now. Giving it plenty of thought. Does he want to risk leaving a possible pot to the right middle? As I say, it'd be easy enough just to roll to those reds, but it doesn't really gain any advantage. Here we are, coming up to a minute. This is unusual for Stephen.
Yeah, that roll-up's not his kind of shot, is it? But it clearly would be a way of keeping Stuart out, I suppose. Well, what a pot to go for that is. Obviously, he had the cue ball in mind, thinking that he wouldn't leave anything easy, but my word, this was incredibly difficult. Never quite know where the red's going to go that you're playing either.
Yeah, I think he's played it in such a way that he felt the only red he could leave was the one he was playing. And, well, that runs safe, so no harm done.
Stuart now looking maybe at the potting angle on this red. Again, difficult. Probably only leaving the red that he plays once again. So that wasn't the worst shot. Well, he now is a qualifier, but he's been pretty consistent this season in those qualifying matches. And of course, there is that chance that you get a little bit too used to playing in those cubicles. And even someone of Hendry's calibre is now back in the big stage, and most of his season's been played in front of not that many people. I think he can still play the game to a high level. He's still knocking in the big breaks. No change there.
Well, that's not the best shot that from Stuart. And if you're going to play that shot, you've got to find the cushion with the cue ball. And he's not done that, so this is a chance for Stephen. Comes to the table with a 31-point lead. Well, decided to play it in the top. Obviously, was given position on the black, but now he's missed it. Stuart, after playing that poor safety, comes right back to the table.
One.
The problem he's got, though, is that he is those few points behind. 30 points behind where the balls are is quite a big disadvantage, and those three reds snapped by the green are very difficult to get into open play.
Yes, I think sooner rather than later you've got to try and leave an angle on a, well, possibly the pink.
6.
That's the ball I would be looking. If you could leave an half ball pot on the pink, pot the pink and cannon into those three reds that are near the baulk cushion.
Seven.
I think that's why he's playing the yellow. He wants to leave the pink there now. So play for this red to the left middle and leave that angle on the pink. Just coming around to check where he'd like to be. Well, he's obviously in a position where he can't get nicely on the pink without using the rest. That wasn't plan A. We're going down the alphabet here. Plan A's out of the way and Plan B's gone. Looks like just roll the yellow in and play safe, does it?
Well, as you say, too straight on the pink for any of that. This is a power shot. It's always going to be difficult to imagine him being on a red there, where the way the reds were. I suppose he had to take a chance, but he just couldn't see it happening. As John said, it wasn't really his original plan to play that shot. That's what he was left with. So the break will end.
Stuart Bingham, 12.
Well, it ran on and on. And it's left Stephen with a bit of a problem here. He's just going up because this red to the left of the green will cut into the right corner. I mean, it's very risky, but he's going to have to play it thin anyway, so why not attempt the pot? Why not attempt the pot? And if that cue ball slows down, he may just have an angle on the blue.
It was some shot though, wasn't it? Slight angle here. You can see where he is. He would like to have been a little bit wider on this than the angle he's got. He's got to force it now. Well, I'll tell you what, if he's on that red, that was a tremendous shot once again. We talk about long screw shots and all the power needed there, but that was a great shot from virtually on the side cushion. Tremendous.
Still needs
7.
the last remaining red. The screen will put him 29 points in front. But at the moment, still 35 remaining. This red to go 30 points ahead with 27 remaining. No heroics here. And
Stephen
even
Hendry,
so,
10.
he couldn't make the red, so frame still on.
What about you, John? But I always used to prefer rolling him down the black cushion than that bulk cushion. For some reason, it never seemed the same shot to me.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you, I'd have preferred to play it near. I'd have preferred to roll it rather than play the stun shot, you know. But anyway, everyone to their own, and well, it doesn't look as though he can get past the blue to pot this red. Only the red required. Can he bend it with a bit of left-hand side? I think that's what he's trying. Oh, and he's hit the blue.
And miss. Stuart Bingham, 5.
The problem here is if it gets put back, it's a torrid experience for our referee. And it would be difficult to get these back exactly, because Stephen has gone for the pot here, so to be replaced will be difficult for anybody, and I don't think Stuart can take the risk. It's not put back in exactly the same place.
No, he can't, as you say. I mean, he could well pot it if it was replaced. Main thing, get it. Where's the cue ball? Oh, nice little rattle of the jaws there has made it a decent safety.
He just played the containing safety shot there, didn't try anything much. The only problem with that shot is that there's always the chance that Stuart could put him in trouble now. And if he'll play it as a double, he might do. They didn't play the double, but played him behind the pink, not quite got it. Half chance for Hendry in the right corner.
Yeah, a bit disappointed with that, really, wasn't it? It was a big target, the pink and the green. You say this is a chance. Got it a little bit too thick. I don't care who you are and how many times you've been at the Crucible, it's always nice to get that first frame under your belt. And it's still in the balance, who's going to get it? Well, Stuart won't be too disappointed with that. Remember, of course, Stephen now needs the red and the colour. Couldn't do much else with that. That's all of the red he could hit, and he's given Stuart Bingham a chance here, but so far Stuart's long potting has not been what you'd call top draw. Well, how close can you get without dropping?
Yeah, I think the proof of that is that the red has not really left the pocket very far at that kind of speed, so he's got to feel pretty unlucky there. This chips in. Still wants to land on any colour just about, and that kiss will do very nicely for Stephen.
Quiet, please. Thank you.
That'll be 28 in it with the green potted and a chance to get onto the yellow, so a nervy first frame. Looks like it's going to go to the former 7 times champion here.
4. Stephen Hendry, 4.
Well, I don't think you can say much about that. Okay. Stuart Bingham needs a snooker, but
2.
the frame should have been over by now. Stuart shouldn't have been coming back to the table, just needing one snooker. He's not really got close with that yellow. Lack of concentration.
Stuart Bingham, 2.
And there's the snooker. And it can be missed, this, because it's quite a sort of in the open. There's room around this green. But hit it well. I'm always a great believer of trying to keep as many balls on the table as you can to snooker behind, but he may be forced into potting this green here. But I don't think he can get a snooker or play safe off it.
3.
But he wanted to be different on the brown than this. Unless it's touching ball. That's not good. Just the one snooker. Stephen Hendry just didn't give the yellow ball, which surely would have been the frame clincher, enough respect.
Stuart Bingham, 3.
There's brown, he's going close to the pocket. Well, is he forced into potting the brown? He
4.
was. And now here's a chance, here's a chance. Run off the blue and try and nestle up behind the pink.
Stuart Bingham, 4.
Well, okay, got the snooker, and I'm not saying it's going to be easy to hit, but a bit more pace and got closer to that pink would have cut off the natural angle. Well, it's not a natural because he's having to play with a bit of side. This blue is missable. It's not certain to hit this. Not certain to hit this. when you're striking down like that, and he was striking down to get the side on the cue ball, put far too much on it. Stuart Bingham can now win this frame.
Yeah, I think he knew immediately he'd got too much on that. And there's a bit of guesswork, especially at the start of a match on a shot like that, on how the ball's going to react. So this is a chance for sure. Oh, well. He didn't do a lot with that, but try and pot it. He didn't try and get onto the pink. He knew he had a shot at long range. It was never in. He got close, but it was always hitting the bottom jaw. Stephen with a chance to redeem himself. Easy yellow he missed. This is slightly stretching on this.
But it's there. So, not without a few twists and turns, but it looks as though the 7 times champion here at the Crucible is going to get the first frame under his belt. $19 points to lead, just 13 left on the table.
Hendry, 5.
So 1 snooker to tie, but going to be difficult. Just coming into its 33rd minute, this frame. Not one that I think either player will remember that well, but it's still important in the context of the match. I always believe you get a good start, and there's no better start than winning the first frame. Well, Stephen should be just rolling this pink slowly towards the corner pocket. If it doesn't go in, leave it in the jaws. Just like that. Well, he's left Stuart a chance here. Baulk cushion, top cushion in behind the black. He's just got to judge that little trace of right-hand side correctly. And he hasn't caught the pink much too thin.
Well, I mean, it doesn't look easy where the black is, but it's not actually the worst place in the world to get a snooker if the chance came up. Just away from the cushion, which is in his favour. If Stuart can get the shot, he's got quite a big target. It was always going to be difficult from that shot, though. Hendry will be looking to roll it over the pocket soon.
Yeah, he's already had 1 chance to roll over the pocket and didn't take it. He doesn't want to be playing a pot here and letting that cue ball run loose. Well, here's another chance for Stuart. Needs a lot of left-hand side on this. Trying to get in behind that black. If he did get in behind it, it'd be a tough snooker to hit. Well, too pacey. Good line, but too pacey. Oh, yes, just. I fancy he's going to get close here with this one, Stuart. He's had a few goals here now. It's about quarter ball on the pink. Well, he purposely tried to dislodge the black, but he's not in a good position for snookers now. But it won't be necessary, because eventually Stephen Hendry pots the ping that takes the first frame. A very, very nervy one from both players. Neither will be happy, but Stephen leads 1-0. And I'm sure it will come.
I know what you mean about the Neelys, but if you mean a bit like me, I used to get them all the time.
Nearly.
You do wonder where this is all leading. He's got, well, thought it was going to be a possible re-rack, but I'm not sure after that shot whether he's not left to have a chance here. I think that Stuart will probably take this on. It was a strange shot from Stephen there. Just cut this down the cushion. It's not easy, but he's got to go for it. Yeah. Once again, can't get on the colour. Frustrating, I would think, for Stuart, the way this match has started. Everything's gone a little awkward.
Green ball.
Good.
Blue ball. Stuart Bingham, 1.
It's okay as long as he covered the red that was near the yellow. Both these players are attacking break building. That's their style of game, but it's not happening just at the moment. I'm certain it'll pick up.
Yeah, unfortunately, that shot's put the pink a little awkward, as well as where the black is. So not the conventional looking table with the high value colours not really in play. But as John says, you'd hope that things will change, because both players don't really enjoy playing this sort of snooker.
Not a bad safety shot that from Stephen, but he has left an opportunity for pot here for Stuart. Oh boy, he caught that thick. Much too thick. And this red is on to the left middle. It's a thin one, and he's just got to be wary of possibly off into the right corner. An effort to avoid that possibly off has missed the red, but may have left nothing.
Yeah, no easy safety shot either. He's had a look at the 2-ball plant, which again would be, I think, a difficult one. But even that red up the table, to play safe from it with the yellow and blue where they are, not easy. So I think he's going to play it. He might hope that the 2 reds go up the table if one of them doesn't go in. So maybe worth a risk. They have some sort of a shot at the pink, albeit not an easy one. I don't even know if he's pushed either of the reds up out of play. I think Stephen can cut this one in. Thought he'd play it firmer than that, just to avoid leaving anything on. Now, I'm sure that red cuts back. Again, cue ball not going anywhere. Complete control. Didn't really know where it was going to finish, but I think he'll take that kiss. That's on the green. That's the best result he could have hoped for. Not really straightforward again. He would love to get the black back on its own spot as soon as he can. That's where Hendry is absolutely dominant. Not even an easy shot to get behind it from where it is. Always very difficult to judge the pace on those.
5.
He's got a fraction too far. Pot is still on, but he might look at something else.
Yeah, I think the green looks a little bit more appetising than the black. There is a red to the left middle that he can get on comfortably, you would have thought. Just got into that cue ball a little bit too much. Possibility this red
8.
to the left middle, but straighter would have been ideal. Now, a pressure black, and that's what I'll call it, a pressure black to the left middle. Doesn't have to do a lot with the cue ball, but there's a bit of heat on this one.
Yeah, for more than one reason as well, not only because of what he would have left, but now then he's got the black
16.
on its spot, and it's now a proper chance to win the frame. So we've kind of got over the
17.
early difficult shots in this break, and now it should be a little easier. He's played on the bottom red there, and he wants to be straight on it, or fairly straight. Just run it through. use the other red slightly, but
25.
this is a great chance to extend his lead.
Didn't exactly hit the red he wanted
32.
to, but it's worked out okay. If he feels he can't play for the black, he can run up. He's got green and brown on the spots. The blues near the far left corner pocket, so it's a pretty good chance, but he feels as though he can get back for the black.
33.
And played it nicely. He'll be disappointed if he doesn't win the frame at this visit now.
Yeah, and he just settled better than Stuart Bingham. Stephen Hendry here, he
40.
didn't look at his best at the start, but he just managed to find a way of getting his game going. It's going to be interesting because a lot of the qualifiers have only had a few days. Qualification finished last weekend, so a lot of them are going to have a lot of confidence still. Not an awful lot of time to think about these matches as well. So I wonder if you are going to get a few seeded players
48.
knocked out. Hasn't been the case recently. It's hard to think of Stephen as a qualifier, a possible underdog in a match like this, isn't it? But I guess he is. The bookmakers don't necessarily think that he's an outsider, but he had to win a match to get here.
Yeah, I hope I'm not throwing you a googly here, Neil, but how did they bet on this match at the start?
Well, they couldn't decide. Just about all the bookmakers, including the sponsors, were just about each of two, 10 to 11 each of two. In other words, if you can't work out who the favourite is, there isn't one, I suppose.
57.
So that's the frame ball. He's just knocked in there. 49 points to lead. There's only 43 remaining. And I think, Neil, if I was
62.
Stuart Bingham, I'd be a little bit concerned. He's just not got going yet. He needs to relax and start letting that cue get through.
Absolutely right, and as you always say, John, you never really get into the match until you've got something on the board, frame, and Stuart hasn't played all that well. A couple of chances, I have to say, have gone awkward. Sometimes that happens. You feel you're in good nick, but then the chances you get have just got
68.
an extra degree of difficulty about them. But that really applied to Stephen as well, and he's got over it.
69.
And, well, he's going to take the brown here because it means he can make exactly 100.
$73. $75. $78.
John has just had a look at how many centuries Stephen has made. I've lost count. It was 772.
82.
And this would be 773. It's a record he must be very proud of. It's a lot of century breaks. Of course, what we always fail to
87.
mention is that he's made, I should think, hundreds of thousands, well, many thousand on the practice table anyway. Day in, day out. But it's in match play, we're talking. And
93.
not many where he rolls the black into the left middle, though, should he do it. It would be an unconventional way to make a century break. It's in, though. And Stephen Hendry looks in good form and makes a break of exactly 100 and extends his lead over Stuart Bingham. It's 2-0.
Well, with anyone else, you'd say, right, they've made a century, they've relaxed, and now they'll play the game. But with Stephen, he just seems to make centuries, whether he's playing good, bad, or indifferent.
He does. Someone told me earlier on they heard that Stephen was going to retire from playing at the end of this tournament. I don't know, it's a rumour been going around, but we heard a rumour that Frankel had been retired last weekend, didn't we? And at the horse, the great horse, and that turned out to be nonsense. So maybe it's the same story.
Yeah, but he's only 4 years old.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. But you don't believe everything you hear. I don't think anything's been announced along those lines, but he looks good enough for a few more years on the strength of that break anyway.
Yeah, he's got tremendous ability, and of course changed the way the game was played, really. It was Stephen who really brought that, get a good angle on the blue, stunning to the pink, open the reds up, clear up every chance you get. And what a talent, and in the 90s was practically unbeatable.
Thank you. The third frame, Stephen Hendry to break.
Well, that's something that might give him a little bit of confidence. Nicely played. Dropped it in at long range. This would be a better chance than anything he's had so far.
Yes, and you feel it's about time he stood up to the plate here.
9.
Stuart is a very, very good player. And I know he was, as I said in the first frame, he was looking forward to the thing. You know, it's not every day you get to play a 7 times world champion at the Crucible. They called Stephen Hendry the king of the Crucible, and he was really looking forward to the challenge. And of course, in his mind, he'd think on all known form he'd be a slight favourite. But he also knew he had to produce some of his best snooker, and so far, it's not been good enough.
16.
This is a chance now to start stamping his authority on matters.
Well, I thought I'd seen a bad kick earlier on that Stephen Hendry had. That one was even worse. That has just gone straight on. Well, we didn't see any sparks fly there, but that was about all we didn't see. That just went straight on. Can't blame him for that.
Yes, and it's so frustrating, isn't it? Of course, it's like every sport, isn't it? People say, oh, it evens out, you know, penalty decisions and things like that. They even out over the season, but I don't think Stuart will be thinking that at this moment. That was a horrendous bit of bad luck.
That was a good shot. Not only the accuracy, but he got the screw absolutely right on that.
5.
A bit straight this time. That red next to the cue ball makes it slightly awkward cueing, a bit of a distraction. So Stephen happy enough to play on a red down the cushion. He did that earlier and missed one. He overcut it, but it was to the other corner pocket. Similar to this.
12.
Yeah, and this is one of these that, as I say, when they're just off the cushion, to me, they're a lot more difficult than if they're tight to the cushion.
13.
Beautifully. Couldn't have played it better. That was never anywhere else but in.
Yeah, I think sometimes it helps if you play on a fairly tight table in practice, one where they wouldn't go in that easily, because then you get into the match arena and think, well, you know, I'm not going to miss one down that cushion. They feel like big pockets. But as John said, they're not. Referee Zhu Ying putting the pink ball below its spot. No other is available, so that's where it has to go, down the middle of the table. Not touching one of those reds, but as near as you can get without being touching. Should be a little gap between them.
19. $20.
Played it nicely. Not the perfect angle on the blue to cannon into them, but the end red on the right-hand side is definitely available. So he may just elect to stun down for that, or may feel he has enough angle to disturb something. Oh, running round off 2 cushions. Couldn't have hit them much better. What a shot that was. Tremendous. And the cue power is all topspin this, and look how it started to speed up. And that was really, well, maximum hit and good result.
26.
Just showing how this topspin works. I don't know exactly who played this, but you just watch. It stops and then woof, that topspin takes over and then it starts running up the table. Although it looks as though that's spinning the other way, isn't it? Oh, spotty ball. But believe me, that demonstration, that whoever did that didn't hit it as well as Stephen Hendry hit his.
It was an absolute peach. And again, not necessarily the kind of shot that you associate him with, lots of cue power like that, not anymore, but he played it beautifully. And the Reds could not have broke any better. So he definitely
33.
is getting into a good rhythm now. No doubt about that. It was a little scrappy earlier. Stephen feels perhaps that while Stuart is struggling, he could really get away from him in frames.
38.
Sinking a bit low into his chair.
39.
Played it that way off 2 cushions to get closer to the black.
Yeah, if you speak to Stephen and you ask him how he's playing in practice, and he'll say, as well as ever. And we did a couple of legends. He played with Jimmy White. We played here at the Crucible, actually, a week last Friday, and then we played at the Guildhall, Preston. And when we were here, I mean, there was 2 occasions where he got 11 reds, 11 blacks, looked like he's going to make a maximum. And then all of a sudden, there's just one long pot
47.
that you see his weakness in his cue action. But when he gets in amongst the balls like this, to me, I still don't fancy him missing. And this, after 100 in the last frame, this is a great chance.
Yeah, I think that Stephen is one of these players that you wouldn't want to practice with at all unless you wanted to
53.
get the balls out for him all day, because he's always been one of the best players in practice, of course, and in matches as well. But I think the odd occasion when I had an invite to practice with Stephen, you know, there was always no. So I'd hope to get a few shots somewhere. There's been a few players like that, but most of them over the years have not always transferred it onto the match table.
$61.
45 points to lead, 59 remaining. So this red and a high value colour, which will be the black.
62.
And he'll have a 3-0 lead. wiped its feet, as my old dad would have said. But in it went.
70.
Any other day but the first day, or when the table's been recovered, because just slid off the jaws. I think that might not have always gone in. But like you say, back-to-back centuries would give Stephen a really good feel out there. Knocked in
76.
a couple in his qualifying match as well to get here.
77.
And even when he hasn't really been in the best of form in the last 2 or 3 years, his breaks have always been there, always been able to score. It's been the scrappier frames he's not really done himself justice in.
83. '84.
A little bit straighter on the blue than he would have liked. I think he may just have a slight angle. Just wants to leave himself straight on the yellow, really. Just had a slight angle. He loves his hundreds.
89.
This will be the 774th of his career. Well, it won't be. But that was superbly executed. The breakup of the pack off the blue was absolutely vintage Stephen Hendry. He's not happy, but he should be when he looks at the score. He's leading 3-0. Well, a little bit of an early problem for Stuart Bingham. Stephen Hendry obviously disappointed he didn't increase his 100 break tally, but Stuart Bingham has not got going yet. He's not started at all.
No, he's in first in that frame as well. That was even more disappointing. He got in first, didn't make very many, as you saw, and then, well, Hendry playing at the top of his game, or the kind of game he plays nowadays, can't really play any better than that. So, as you say, John, Stuart's got a lot on now.
And as we well know, Neil, these top players, the ones that have won tournaments over the years, you let them get in front, they don't look over the shoulder. They look straight ahead, and they can be very hard to catch. Big frame, mid-session interval after this one. I think Stuart needs to win it.
Thank you. Frame 4, Stuart Bingham to break.
So Stuart Bingham breaks off in frame 4. He's drawn a blank up until now, and he knows he's got to raise his game by a long way if he's going to compete in this match. Well, that was a slightly weak safety shot, given Stuart something to look at long range. Been missing a couple of these. Well, he did not hit it well. He did try and get the cue ball back up the table. That's why he hit it so hard. So it's not too bad, but again, it wasn't his best cueing. Seemed to be a bit of movement on that, didn't there? The cue went up in the air off his bridge hand. That's not a great sign. And his long potting only 38%. But Stephen has knocked in a few. 3 from 8 is the tally for Stuart Bingham. Hendry's goes down based on that shot as well.
One. Four. 5.
Just a little bit of work to do here. At the moment, he's only really the blue to play for, and the ball colours, of course.
9. Ten.
And he's not far enough on the blue, so he's going to have to play for a red to the left corner here, which will not avail him position on the colour too easily. Well, you see, it couldn't be straighter. I didn't need Hawkeye, I just used my commentator's eye.
15. 16.
Cued that pretty well. We've been looking, and Neil mentioned it in the, well, early on, that just not getting that cue through. He got it through there, so maybe just beginning to relax. Now, is he on anything? Anything. He'll settle for
21.
anything. I can't see it.
I'm not sure if he's on that red to the right of the black. It looks tight. But a little shake of the head's not promising, is it? If he was on it, he would have probably played it by now. I mean, it wasn't his best split of the pack, but they did open up nicely enough. I don't think he tried certainly to get into the pink full ball, but the reds have split, the cue will come back towards them. You would hope to be on something. Sums up his match so far. That.
Stuart Bingham, 21.
Well, Stuart, we pretty gutted. He was just getting out of his chair, actually. And he's on the green nicely also. It was a pretty outrageous fluke that he got.
4.
Didn't get all that close to the pot. I always wonder about that little raising of the hand 6 inches for your opponent. Does it really make him feel any better? I suppose you have to do it.
5.
Wave your hand towards your opponent to say you're sorry about the fluke. No real consolation, is it, at the time?
Well, Stuart, well, doesn't want to look. This is a good chance now for Stephen. Okay,
12.
the black's still tied up, but he can certainly build up a useful lead here. And still a possibility of winning the frame at this visit. Last 2 frames, he's made 89 in the last, 100 in the second frame. So you wouldn't put it past him.
18. 19. 25. 26.
And as you saw, that pink would just pass the red to the right middle. Yeah, I don't think Stephen will be too worried that the black is a little tied up, because he can get a lot of points with reds and pinks, or even a blue.
33.
Might have liked to have been straighter on that pink, though. Shouldn't be a big problem.
Yeah, I think worst way, he can still play for the red to the right centre here. Okay, he's on the red to the left corner, but if he's got an angle on the red to the right centre, he can roll that in, and as long as he leaves himself a nice angle on blue or pink, as long as he's not dead straight on the red, he should be able to manoeuvre the cue ball. Nice angle on the blue, but well, he's got possibly two reds. I think the one to the left of the black nearest the top cushion is maybe available into the right corner. And that's the one he's played for. But he wanted that cue ball to be
45.
maybe another 6 inches away from the cushion. That's why I said it, because you notice when he was cueing, he was just having to strike down on the cue ball. If it had been another 6 inches away from the cushion, he wouldn't have had to be striking down like that. And you strike down like that, and you just put a little bit of unintentional side, and that's what swerves the cue ball offline. Not one you'd have expected him to miss in his pomp, but those little errors just creep in now and then.
Good safety shot. Stephen might be forced to play the red on the left cushion here. Either that or play out of a snooker when he isn't actually snookered on that red. Yeah, he doesn't really want to move the red on the left. So I think he's playing around two cushions. Maybe a thin glance. Oh, well, most of the time you'll see a player almost miss that one first time because they don't want to well, hit it too thick like he did.
And what's the result he's had? He's left the red very adjacent to the left middle, but the blues come to his rescue. This is potable, but pressure on this. And particularly when you feel as though you should have had something easier. Good shot. He was under it a little bit there.
One.
As I say, particularly as he thought he should have had an easier pot to go at. He got down, got back up, realised the importance of it. So first hurdle crossed.
Yeah, I think he got down first time, was just slightly distracted by some movement there, but you know, if you're in that front row,
Five.
Barely able to blink without being in play. It's so close, so he did well to keep his concentration going. Tried to develop that red. Not done it, but at least he's on the pink, so it's not bad. This should be a very important clearance should he make this. It puts him right in the match. May come down to
12.
shot after this one. What kind of angle he's got to get on the red on the left, which will be the last of the reds.
13.
Well, he didn't want to be straight, so that's okay. Probably just try and play in behind it. Might be another rest shot on that red. So it's an important one, this. As far as rest shots go, would be
19.
as easy as you could get from where he was. Just one more shot, maybe screw back up for the blue, and then it would be the first frame of the match for him.
Now, this is where you've got to keep your concentration, because on the other side of the wall...
Quiet, please, thank you.
There at their mid-session interval, there'll be a lot of noise, and he's got to concentrate. This is a big frame for Stuart. And that little hub that goes round the audience of...
24.
Points all square, up to and including the blue.
26.
For his first frame.
$29. $33.
And that was the pot he wanted.
38.
I suppose it's possible to be disappointed, leading 3-1, because he knows he could have been 4-0 up. But it's not the case. Stuart Bingham makes an important clearance there up until the black. And it's Stephen Hendry 3, Stuart Bingham 1.
Interval over. Stephen Hendry gets frame 5 underway. 9 to be played in this first session of this match, which will be completed tomorrow. And I would think at that mid-session interval that they've just had, Stuart Bingham will be mighty relieved to have got one frame on the scoreboard. It was a disappointing start from Stuart, not what he wanted, but he's got on the first rung of the ladder.
Four. Stephen Hendry 4.
Where's the cue ball gone? That was a very adventurous shot to take on. He must have thought there was a gap, but caught the red too full. That's why he kissed the pink. And he's left Stephen a, well, not too difficult a cut into this left corner. And he knew if he potted it and avoided a kiss on a baulk colour, worst way it'd be on the green. He could play the green and play a cannon, but it all depends if he's got a natural angle just to play for the red above the black. Now he played the cannon, that's the way he's always played the game, but unfortunately for Stephen, even though he's
4.
on a red, he's tied the black up.
Yes, touching ball.
which was not what he wanted.
We can just get to this one. But not only the pot, but to avoid other reds on the way back for a colour. He's done that.
5.
So he's got out of that a little bit. A bit straight on the blue, but of course he has the red somewhat down the table there. Not bad at all. Well played. It's going to be difficult with the black tied up for him,
10.
but still some high value colours there. I say, I think he might have been just slightly disappointed at the interval to have been 3-1 up, which could have been 4-0.
11.
As John said, it was a big boost for Stuart to have pinched the 4th frame. Needs to start this session, though, better than the start of the match, I would say. Stephen could have played into the little bunch of 5 reds, but chose not to.
16.
Yeah, that's a nice angle to play a cannon onto the red to the left of the black here, but it could be a bit risky. He wouldn't be certain to be on the black. He'd like to get the black into play, but now he's playing the other red, the straight one.
$17.
Now, what could help him if the pink didn't go on its own spot and went on the black spot? Although there is a red just to the left of the black spot. Where does the pink go? Oh, comfortably on its own spot and available
23.
into the right corner, left middle, possible right middle. It's not a bad chance, this.
$24. $13. $31.
Well, certainly not straightforward, this break. Not now. Little soft screw shot there. And problem here is that just getting on to the next colour from this red
37.
with the rest. Got to play a decent shot. Won't be trying to cannon the black out. He'll be trying to avoid that. Might just be able to avoid the 4 reds and up for the blue. And the pink also available, so
38.
just feel that the reds are starting to run out, but he's accumulating some points. Still wouldn't put it down as a guaranteed frame-winning chance yet.
Yeah, I think he's just about all right, just to drop the pink in. He could play for the red that's closest to the right-hand cushion.
$44.
Pink may be onto the left middle, probably is. But he needs to manoeuvre that cue ball away from the cushion and get a little bit closer to the pink if he's going to play for the pink.
45.
And he stunned it across, but you can see by his face, I don't think he's too happy with that. It's not exact. I think he wanted to leave an angle on the pink so he could disturb that little cluster of 4 reds. I don't think he can do that now. But as you said, Neil, he's accumulating points.
51.
delicate little stuns and screws here. This time running up for the
52.
blue or pink. I suppose the pink must go. This pink, just we're looking for another red and a colour. Another red and a pink would do. You see it, 62 ahead, 75 remaining.
58.
Pot the red and even the blue would leave him in the snooker's required stage.
59.
So this blue will put him 68 points in front with just 67 remaining.
Just wonder if he'll play into the little group of 4 reds from this. He's playing around 2 cushions with topspin. He's played the shot from the other side with great skill already in this match. Oh, beautiful shot. That really was classy.
64.
I think he didn't really want to go into it from the ping in case he knocked in a red or even worse, went it off, and then maybe the frame wasn't guaranteed. But I think it is now after that last shot. Already Stuart wants one snooker, but once the red goes in, I don't even think he'll want to play on.
$65.
In some ways, this break has been the best of them all. He made a century, 100 exactly in frame 2, then 89 in the third, which could have been another century, but this has been not so straightforward. Quite a difficult break without the black on.
That was a nice positional shot. And he's beginning to just stroke the ball nicely.
71.
No effort. I mean, they're very quick tails. It shouldn't be an effort to hit the ball too hard. Keep it smooth.
$77.
Just
78.
under hit it. Well, you never know. He could pot the pink here, cannon the red next to the pink. It may just bring that red next to the black into play. Does it reach? No, it doesn't. But it doesn't matter. None of the edge from Stuart Bingham. Stuart's still not firing on all cylinders, but signs are that Stephen Hendry is. He now leads by 4 frames to 1. And I'm just saying there, Neil, that Stephen's stroking the ball. At the moment, you just get the feeling that Stuart's trying to force things a little bit. You know, in that frame there when he went it off, which in the end cost him the frame. But he's just trying to push the boat out a little bit. And I know it's best of 19, but you can panic early, can't you?
Yeah, and he's not scoring as well as Stephen. And that's the one thing he still does so well. So Stuart with a lot to do here.
Thank you. Frame 6, Stuart Bingham to break.
Stuart Bingham trailing 4-1, breaking off with 4 frames scheduled in this session. I feel he'd have to win at least 2 of them to have a chance going into tomorrow's final session. Got to make things happen now. definitely the best shot he's hit in the match. That's great cueing. Nasty on the blue as well.
Six. Stuart Bingham, 6.
I mean, he potted a terrific opening red, and this was a lot easier. Just playing it around off the 2 cushions. It's not a good shot to miss at this level against a man who's starting to score quite heavily.
1.
Yes, and the type of player, if he sees a sign of weakness, will jump all over you. This is the old cannon, right bang into the pink. No one plays it better.
6.
You'd be thinking maybe he could have been on something a little easier than this. I think he's only got the red that's just off the cushion into the left corner. He may be helped by the fact he won't have to do a lot with the cue ball. I think he can drop this in and get position on the black, but this red is tricky.
Well, I must admit, I wasn't certain
7.
that was going to go in. That part of the pocket doesn't normally take the ball. I thought that was going to stay over the pocket there. And he's on the black.
Fourteen. Hendry, 14.
Well, that's the Stephen Hendry of today against the Stephen Hendry of old. It right across that. Straight shot, hit the cue ball in the middle, hit the object ball in the middle, it'll go in the middle of the pocket. But he hits across it. So it's not easy, this red he's left, Stuart, but if it went in, he's certain to be on the black. Is it there? Not only is it not there, he didn't hit it hard enough to get it away from the pocket. He's having a nightmare.
Yeah, that was the sinful part of the shot from his point of view. The pot was difficult, but like you say, just to get it a couple of inches past the pocket would have been bare minimum. He had no real control over this cue ball. I think he'll just about settle for that. It's giving him a shot at the blue.
Six. Seven.
I suppose it's a real concern for anyone that supports Stuart Bingham in this match, given not only that
9.
he's falling behind, but when Stephen did miss that red to the left corner, he got this immediate chance.
10.
He's not really being punished for any mistakes he does make. Not that he's making many, but Stuart has not gone into this game at all, and I guess it's such a different situation for him. than in the year 2000 when he's playing the world champion at the time on this very table. Hendry pot success 91%. That's decent. Stuart Bingham
15.
77. Well, not been too many matches at the Crucible with that kind of pot success rate.
Sorry. 16.
Played it guaranteed without being on a red to screw down below the black. Couldn't really
21.
fail.
$22.
Once again, he's landed on the blue, maybe into a corner pocket. It's the third time already in this break if he plays it. He's got a shot at the green.
$27. Yes, touching.
Touching ball, but he's playing away anyway to play the red to the left middle. Should be able to control the cue ball. Just a little screw off the side cushion, hole for the blue.
28.
Played it nicely. Perfect angle on the blue, and in this cluster of four, the bottom red, the one immediately above the black, is available. Looks like another frame that's going
33.
to slip away from Stuart Bingham.
$34.
And that's okay as well.
41.
Looking at Stephen, the last couple of years at the Crucible, he hasn't come into it looking like he was all that confident with his game. But I suppose the fact that he's had to qualify this year, maybe
42.
comes into it with a different outlook. Doesn't take it for granted anymore. He knew that there was a chance he wouldn't get here just over a week ago. Now he's here, he's probably going to soak it all up and enjoy it like he used to.
47.
Just as Reddy wants, that's all.
48.
Pretty one-sided this match, not only by the scoreline, but the frame that Stuart did win was one that he pinched. Well, everything's working out for Stephen here. Managed to get on a red to the right middle.
53.
Any little bit of fortune tends to go with the player playing the best. There's no question about that. Stephen is that man.
54. $61. And a free.
He still gets annoyed when the centuries don't happen, but he should be very pleased with the scoreline. Stephen Hendry has extended his lead. He now is in a 5-1 advantage over Stuart Bingham.
quickly there, Stephen. Just caught that a little bit too thick. And he's left a pot on for Stuart. It's just not happening at the moment.
That one sounded good as it hit the back of the pocket. Stephen will take a lead into the second session, but he really would like to drive the point home and take a big advantage through. I always think that in this round, when you've got 9 frames, 6-3, you know you've still got work to do, but when you get to the stage of 7-2 or even a greater advantage, you don't really see the comeback happening. That's the cue ball there. So this will take a good shot to continue the break.
16.
Just didn't quite get into that. In fact, I think he probably hit the wrong red, actually. Might have tried to hit the red on the left of the pack. Now, how's he going to pot the next red? He may not even try. But he's in attacking mode. Doesn't often refuse balls.
Yes, well, the possibility he could play this red to the left middle, a chance of being on the black. Good pot, but he's lost the cue ball. He's just overrunning a fraction off. I suppose not hard enough. Maybe he did play it off the 2 cushions. The black is cuttable, but it's tricky.
Again, though, he's going to take it on. He's already looked at the potting angle. Playing a bit low on the cue ball. He's not just rolling it in either. Oh, that's a good shot. That's a difficult shot, not only the pot, but when you play it with a little bit of soft screw.
24.
It was well played. He's not perfectly on a red still, but he's still got something to go at if he plays this red. Oh, this is difficult. On by the pink. Very, very good.
25.
Well, that one has fell in off the jaw as well. Let's have a look at this one. Safe to say that this table is not playing difficult pocket-wise. I mean, you can easily see that one staying out.
33.
I think it will change. You don't expect them to play easy throughout, but it is a newly recovered cloth on here. And the cushions as well, but that's just slid in.
$41. $48. 49.
Well, he's on reds and blacks. I think he would like to continue along that lines. He might even, if the chance came, continue on the black rather than taking a lower value colour. Obviously, as we always say, you've got to put the frame on the board first, but the fact remains this is a good chance to make a very big break.
57.
Well, he's made 10 in competitive play.
64.
Including here at the Crucible.
$65.
And you always wonder where the pink's going to be. It's just away from its spot. It's unlikely to ever be on its spot during the chance for this, and it's really an open play. Everything's there.
$72.
Just a little run through. Sometimes you think that the only thing that can go wrong is a bad contact or something, which of course no one wants to see.
73.
Well, you couldn't have them set much better
80.
than this for a maximum.
81.
As I was saying at the, well, in between frames, what a great temperament Stephen Hendry has
88.
always had. Forced it in and has finished absolutely imperfect. He can play for any red he so wishes here.
Just a question of getting high up the table on a certain red, and
96.
it would have probably been the most difficult of the three to get on the black from, but it's going to happen here if he gets the pot.
97.
Once again, imperfect. This for the century, but bigger fish to fry after this. Now needs an angle on this red to the right middle. Got it.
404. $105.
Yes, high
112.
drama here. This red, followed by the black and the 6 remaining colours.
113.
Well, this is absolutely perfect. Can't fail to be on the yellow. Wow. Can you believe this? And very similar to the shot that Cliff Thorburn had on this very table, this one. Little run through onto the green. It's almost the same shot, isn't it?
Yeah, unfortunately, Stephen is stretching slightly. Cliff wasn't. He was a little bit further away from the yellow. There's not been a century break made in any ranking event this year, so we've got a rollover of £40,000. People are praying for this. This is the key shot. In it goes. Perfect on the green. £40,000 for the maximum, £10,000 for the highest break of the tournament. So these 5 remaining colours for a bonus of £50,000. And another magical crucible moment created by the king of the crucible, Stephen Hendry.
Just one more shot, getting onto that blue perfectly, would surely seal it.
129.
Well, if he can play on the pink without touching a cushion here, which I'm sure he can, what a chance this is.
Decided to play for the pink into the middle rather than hold it. His temperament has always been his main strength. Can he just hold it together for 2 shots? From Stuart Bingham and our referee. Well done, Stephen. You've done the game proud once again. His 11th century, congratulated by both players from the other side.
Thank you, Game 8, Stuart Bingham to break.
Well, still 2 more frames in this session, and Stephen would really like to win them both or one of them and get this massive lead, but that I think that pleased Stephen as much as any 147 I've ever known him make. Bit unlucky actually to finish on the cushion. I think someone might have shouted out another one. The game's never been that easy. There is another match on. Hopefully the players next door won't be disturbed. Well, say he's made 10 147s before, but
8.
The old fist pump there, look at what that means to him. And that just shows you that he still plays this game so well, and it means so much to him.
No.
Yeah, I was thinking there. I don't think he's going to play for the black off that red. He's done his bit for this afternoon. He's got his maximum. Now he wants frames.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's difficult for players to get their concentration back, but one thing about Stephen is that he must be feeling
12.
on top of the world now, so that's the other side of it.
13.
Maybe have a little celebration tonight. A beer or 2, nothing too much, because this match goes on tomorrow as well. But the way it's going, Stephen might be taking a big lead overnight.
Yes, this match will be played to a finish
20.
tomorrow evening, starting at 7 o'clock. But the thing that impresses you, and obviously a 147 is a magical moment for anybody, but with Stephen Hendry, as I mentioned during the break, it's just his temperament. You can have everything. You can talk about the best single ball potters and everything, but you can
26.
never ever put anybody above Stephen Hendry when it comes to temperament and holding himself together under pressure. He's just fantastic.
27.
It's a gift.
Yeah, I completely agree. And the thing is, you know, you get a player perhaps where he would get nervous getting so close to 147, but I think Stephen doesn't think
34.
that way. He thinks, well, this is it. This is the moment I'm going to do it. Think about what could go wrong. And we've always
35.
kind of known that his break building has never been lacking. It's only been certain other parts of his game, but this afternoon he's played superbly. Not only that break, but he scored heavily. And he's already had a break of 100 as well as the maximum, and
42.
61, 78, 89. He's got a high pot success rate of 94%. This is top class snooker he's playing here.
45. Okay. 46.
Well, this has not been such a precise break, but it's equally
54.
as effective.
Sorry. 60.
Yeah, he's playing this break like a man who just is having so much confidence, absolutely oozing confidence, because it's not been that precise a break. He's got out of position a few times, but he just feels so good, I would say, after what happened. And certainly
67.
the maximum has not affected him in a bad way, that's for sure.
Yeah, and quite an unusual thing, which we've forgotten all this. Our referee, Zhu Ying, it's her first ever match at the Crucible Theatre. She's refereed on a 147. How's about that?
68.
And that's the frame, Quincha.
It is, and it was a tremendous opener that he got to make the break. So he's absolutely running right here. And this is, the break might come to an end now, but this is how it started. I mean,
75.
potted it and cannon on the red next to the black. Such confidence.
Playing the double, you expect it to go in, don't you?
Stephen Hendry, 75.
Well, it doesn't go in, but Stephen has just about won this frame. Stuart Bingham is carrying on. So he decides it's worth having a few shots. He's not seen much table time, and that playing on wouldn't have helped him much there. Don't think he has conceded just yet, so a bit of a surprise that he decided to carry on, but quite amazing, isn't it? A lot of points without reply here.
1.
Since Stuart Bingham last potted the ball, 304 points since he's been sitting there watching.
7.
I'm sure he'd have been willing in on for the 147, like anyone would be.
8.
But not since then would he have been willing Stephen Hendry to pop balls. This is as confident as I've seen him for a long time. Long
13.
time. It's a great level of this game, isn't it? And that was a miscue, and Stephen could afford to laugh, but even Stuart laughs. And the bottom line is, Stephen Hendry has extended his lead to 7 frames to 1. Yeah, he came back from China on Thursday evening, did Stephen Hendry, and a lot of people said that that wasn't the ideal preparation, but I suppose you never quite know how you're going to play at this game, whatever the circumstances.
Yes, well, as I say, we did a couple of seniors evenings, one here at the Crucible week last Friday. He played Jimmy, and on 2 occasions there he looked like he was going to make a maximum break. Then he played his qualifier, and then after he'd finished his qualifier he came up to the Guildhall in Preston and played Jimmy again. And he's hitting the ball superbly, but we all know, because you look at the form book, and he's not been producing it in tournaments. But give him the Crucible Theatre, the stage, and as John Parrott so rightly said, a little bit of help early on by his opponent not punishing him, and then he's been able to relax, get the flow, made his century break, and then the 147 was just the icing on the cake, and it was wonderful to see.
And what a reaction this is. Look at that punch of the air. He really means it, doesn't he? And Stuart Bingham, he's a great guy, Stuart, and he's had a terrible afternoon, but he's genuinely pleased for his opponent there, and he meant that as well. That's what he's like.
Yeah, that was a lovely reaction. I didn't see that at the time from Stuart, but yeah, he punished the air as well. So, yeah, even in adversity, you can see something that's worth being happy about.
I'm sure that Legends Tour is absolutely great fun, but I wonder if Stephen had lost that qualifier, had he fancied that trip up to Preston. Might not have been in the best of spirits.
I know. Well, Jimmy played him, and Jimmy had lost the day before in his qualifier, and everybody had said that Jimmy in practice, Jimmy White that is, of course, in practice had been hitting the ball as well as ever. But he went out, and the first 3 frames he lost, and could never get back. It's hard in those qualifiers, but and as I say, and I think you said it, of all the maximum breaks he's made, that one will probably give him the more satisfaction, because he's proved to people that he's no back number.
He's been watching for 32 minutes of playing time while Stephen Hendry pots balls, and he doesn't. And it might be a lot longer after that. The only 7 points that were conceded in the last frame from Stephen was the miscue on the black. So this is a horrible afternoon for Stuart Bingham.
1.
But an absolutely majestic performance from Hendry. He's played as well today as he did in his prime, and of course better at times. And his scoring ability has never left him. It was always that he perhaps got to the stage of his career where some of the long pots he went for weren't going in, and was he prepared to change his game?
7.
He's never been prepared to do that, never compromised. And on a day like today, he is as devastating as ever.
8.
He's not won this match yet, but if he does go 8-1 up, you'd expect him to go through. I wonder what the sponsors, Betfred.com, will make of this. They'll think, hang on a minute. Didn't think about Stephen Hendry. He was worrying about getting onto the red there. It was a bit
Stephen
straight.
Hendry, 8.
And it was only the absolute force that stopped the pink from going in. So he does miss then.
Well, how good you are, you can't put him in a pocket that isn't there. Well. Yes, big cheer for Stuart. It's been a long time coming, that red. Unfortunately, he wasn't on the colour. It's been a very disappointing afternoon for Stuart Bingham. I know he was really looking forward to the challenge of playing Stephen Hendry. Only met once before, and that was when Stephen was the reigning champion and Stuart beat him. But nothing much has gone right for Stuart today. He's not played well, and if you don't play well, then Sometimes you just get what you deserve. But Stephen has played exquisite at times. Well worth the entrance fee. I'm sure everybody here will agree.
It's just another one of those great moments, isn't it, when a player makes a maximum 147 here at the Crucible. He's definitely suffering a lot at the moment with the little nudge has gone against him there. The pot was good. He just flicked to red, which put him in a place where he can't pot a colour easily. That was just bad luck.
Stuart Bingham, 1. Touching ball.
Pretty well judged. Touching ball has been called by Su Ying. Well, it's understandable when you don't get a lot of table time, your touch is bound to leave you.
Well, he's looking at a two-ball plant. I mean, he gets the cue ball up the table, but he's got awkward cueing over the yellow. Well, I was going to say, if you can knock those in, then you're a magician. Look at this. And you got a nice kiss on the yellow, which, as I say, you always get the nudges when you're in form, and when you're not, then you get nothing go your way.
Three. Four.
Well, used all the pocket.
11.
Left a nice angle on this red. Every chance now to take a big, big lead into that final session tomorrow evening.
$19. $20.
Doesn't want to be too straight on this black. Just looking to see which red is available. Straight enough. Having to play for a red into the left corner. Well, look at them total points, Neil. I think
27.
That tells you, doesn't it?
There's a mass 732 points here in this session. Knocked in a 147. He's knocked in another century as well. And you never know what you're going to get at this game.
28.
There's a look at the big difference, isn't it? At 44 against 147. I say that because the first frame was 35 minutes long. It was a horrible frame. And at that point, neither player had kind of woken up to it all. You just never know what you're going to get. Since then, it's been stunning snooker.
34.
Look at the pot success now, and Stuart still can't get anywhere near 80%, which is not good enough. Long pot success, well, 75%, that's excellent. And so in
41.
all departments, Stephen flying along, really.
Yeah.
And he knows the importance of this.
42.
He's just looking for this black and one more red. And what an afternoon he's had. And for Stuart, so disappointing. Won his first ranking title this year. Stuart Bingham won the Australian Open. Beat Mark Williams in the final, 9-8. A lot of people thought he could push on to better things, but it's looking highly unlikely that the World Championship is going to be on his CV
49.
this season. Just this red required. Never in doubt. Never in doubt.
50.
So Stuart Bingham, they're playing 9 frames. He's only managed to win one of them. And that black going in means that Stuart will not come back to the table, only to shake Stephen's hand.
57. $58.
And there's still a possibility of another century here. But he's not good on the black. Check side. Well, this red's going to be
65.
difficult, but as I say, it's just a case whether he makes a century, because if he misses this red, he'll get the handshake.
Stephen Hendry.
Well,
65.
pity, but what a performance by the 7 times world champion Stephen Hendry. Spare a thought for Stuart Bingham, who has not performed anywhere near his talent, but Stephen Hendry, absolutely superb. Throwing the maximum, what more could you ask for? He leads after the first 9 frames, 8-1.
Yeah. Thank you. The first frame, Stuart Bingham to break.
Yeah, referee Zhu Ying saying the first frame. Well, I'm sure Stuart Bingham wishes it was. Unfortunately, it's the 10th frame, and he didn't get going early on yesterday. But then once Stephen Hendry hit stride, well, it was just like the old days. Way off with that one, so not the best break-off shot from Stuart, but it's yielded him the first opportunity, and he's got to take everything now. Forget the scoreline, just play every frame as it comes and hope there's a lot of frames to be played.
1. Six.
A very good positional shot after a poor one. So a chance to get the right side of the blue.
Seven.
A little bit straighter on the... Well, he's going down pretty quick, so maybe he's just got a slight angle. Well,
12.
if he's on the red just to the right of the black, which it appears he is, that's excellent.
$13. 20. $21.
It's going to be a difficult
28.
pack of reds to split open.
29.
Obviously, snooker fans will know that Stuart Bingham will leave himself low on this black and attempt to
36.
pot the black, smash into the pack. Although he did look at a plant into the middle pocket there.
Yeah, and a little bit careless to leave himself hampered like this.
37.
Being hampered, well, there needs to be a plant on here because he's not got a good angle on the black to do what you suggested, Steve.
Yes, this may be the second small piece of fortune he's had in this break. It looks like he's perfectly on. And the way he's left it, not only can he make the plant, but he can disturb a few
44.
reds as well, I would imagine, just a fraction.
45.
Yeah, good, well-spotted plant. He's got a better angle here to go into them because I, like you, thought he might just release at least one red, but he hasn't. He's going to have to open them up. Now, how's your luck? I don't think it's
52.
great. I think there was a red onto the left middle, but that one going close to the left middle, will it pass it? If it doesn't, there's no easy shot. You take this on to the far left corner. It was a tough shot.
Stuart Bingham, 52.
We're disappointed, but whenever you go into the cluster, you always need a little bit of luck. And he could have expected something easier than that. Couldn't really put Stephen in a lot of trouble there. Got that much too thin. Is he going to have a result and nestle up behind the black? Well, that is a result. Just looking at Stephen's expression there, still got the feeling it rolled off. Or did he say sorry?
Well, I don't know about that. It's like Stuart can get to this off the side cushion. He's going to move the red and hopefully get everything safe. Oh, well, he's trying to clip it across the face of it.
Stephen Hendry, 4.
And of course, if he's put back in, he can have another go at judging hitting across the face. Until he gets it right. That's the misrule.
Yeah, he can't hit any red.
And actually, if he has a couple of goes of this and sort of increasingly gets closer and closer, he should be able to push the red down the cushion towards the other two. Cue ball comes across the table. Doesn't seem to have done that much damage then. He's got a few points to play with.
Yeah, just helping the referees. Obviously, it's very important that the cue ball is put back exactly where it was, because that's how you can make an adjustment. That's where it was. And where is it now? Ooh, looks good to me. And he did exactly what you suggested, Steve, and couldn't have played it any better. Good shot.
Not too sure Stevens, is he eyeing up the double? Really think it's the right shot, but you never know. Well, perhaps only the speed kept that out.
Yeah, let's have another look at this. I thought it had gone in. Just caught the jaw, and that caused the red just to bounce a little bit. Look at the anguish on his face. You'd think he was 8-1 behind, wouldn't you?
It's interesting the way Stephen Hendry's come out here. He's very aggressively trying to sort of win the frame straight from the off. And, well, that's one way of clinching a match from 8-1 in front. The other way is to let your opponent make all the mistakes in trying to push his own boat out. Good shot from Stuart Bingham. You wouldn't want to make it too easy for your opponent to win a few frames early on. You'd like to make him work hard for it, but that's not necessarily Stephen Hendry's style. Nearly over the line. Be difficult to win the frame from here, though.
Good shot. Now, 57 points in front at the moment. There's still a possible 75 remaining. So he's looking for colour and another couple of reds. So it's not an easy run to the winning line. Okay, you could clip the blue in, I suppose, and play the cannon on the pink.
Well, there might be a plant on here.
14.
And that would be very helpful. Yes, there it is.
The applause, because he's now 70 points in front.
22.
And there's only 67 remaining, so he's got the first frame under his belt of this evening's session.
23.
As I say, you've got to just put the score line out of your mind and just concentrate on each ball, each frame. But yeah, it's interesting that looks like he might get a
29.
few chances, Stuart, because it doesn't look as though Stephen's in the mood
30.
to be playing a tactical game. Not yet, anyway.
Well, Stephen doesn't like playing the tactical game. He's always tried to win
37.
from in front, to be the aggressor.
Well, he missed the pink, but it didn't matter,
Bingham,
and that
set it
will be won't be enough for Steve Hendry. He concedes. Stuart Bingham, well, that's what he needed, the first frame on the scoreboard, and he's got it, but he still trails 8-2. It's not a bad break-off shot, but there is a possible pot on. I'm not certain if he can play it as a shot for nothing. This red to the right corner. Well, he could, but it doesn't matter now. That was a terrific pot, right in the heart of the pocket. Never touch the side, as they say. Now, before he even thinks about potting the black, he'd want to remove that red that's just to the left of the black. So, may have to play for the blue. I don't know why I say that, because if he plays for the pink, and the pink doesn't go on its spot, then it might have to come on the black spot, which may be available. Has he got enough angle on this blue to play for that red to the left of the black? I'm not sure.
I think he got a bit of a poor contact on the red, destroyed a bit of the backspin. So effectively now he's got one chance to get a good positional shot on the blue. Short of pace
11.
and very close to end of break, because I don't think he can manufacture an angle from this blue to get across to the right-hand side of the table. But he has got great cue power, Stuart Bingham.
Well, at least he's got a pot on. Obviously, he wanted to miss the contact on that red, but it will pot to the right middle.
Well, he's got the perfect angle, I think, to shift a few reds around.
Yeah. Well, he did shift a few reds around, but unfortunately he's stuck in the middle. The problem with that shot, if you play it with too much pace, it throws the cue ball wide, and he probably would only flick the reds.
He was quite a way off the correct pace for that positional split. End of break. Not really enough points of a lead to defend. So everything's still to play for in this frame.
Just checking the pink spot not available. No other spot available. Close to his own spot as it can go in a direct line with the middle of the top cushion.
It's touching ball, this one.
Touching ball, so that helps a little bit when you're trying to get the cue ball back to the balk end, but he's got to be very wary, because this red on the right hand side of the table, he doesn't want to leave Stephen a chance of a pot on that.
Stuart Bingham, 23.
And he's covered the danger red, so it's a good shot all in all. Well, excellent length. This red that's on the right hand side of the table, he'd probably play to pot this, just rolling it in really. Can't do much with the cue ball when you're tight under the cushion like this. At least if he rolls it in, he can play safe. Well, he's gone for it with pace. Oh, well. He's had what we call a right result. But he needs a bit of luck. The position he's in.
Yes, Stephen, touching ball.
Just at an angle there where he could have run back up the turn, but as I say, having missed it, lucky not to leave anything easy for Stephen. But the referee has called touching ball, so I was going to say an easy path back to ball, but not when you're using the spider. It never is. If it had just run past the green, it would have been a good safety, but not now. I was surprised he decided to play safe off that red. Got it much too thick. Now there's a chance for Stephen if he can knock this red in. He'll be a little bit disappointed he didn't knock this in, but he was slightly hampered by the brown, so you can be forgiven for missing a shot like that. Well, he missed the pot by a long way, and there is a gap for Stephen to get through. Different day. Just not finding the middle of the pocket at the moment. Won't be too concerned just yet. That's how close he was to the foul in the green, but obviously there was no contact. Never good catching the blue, and the top red will go to the left corner. Went for it full-blooded, and always looked to me, if he didn't put a little bit of stun on, he made contact the second red, although he hit it a lot thinner than he needed to. Of course, that's why he missed the pot.
One.
So he had a 23-point lead when he came to the table, Stuart Bingham, so this is a good opportunity.
Six. Seven.
Well, for a moment it looked as though he wasn't going to be good, but he's not bad on this blue.
Twelve.
And when he puts this red into the right corner, at least it will clear the pocket for the black. He'll be playing up for the blue again.
13.
Needs to run. Oh, that's a little bit disappointing. I mean, you'd rather be too hard than too soft. If he'd have got a good angle on the blue there, I would think it would have been a frame-winning opportunity, but it's not going to be that easy now. Looks very straight on this blue to me.
Well, he's lining up for the yellow, and that cue ball's going to travel an awful amount of distance with topspin. Great shot, absolutely fantastic shot.
16.
Well, as you say, that was an absolute fantastic shot, because to get that much topspin and also just the pace as well as he did, and that time he didn't have to go to plan B. He got
21.
a nice angle on the blue, and this is a great opportunity now to win the frame at this visit.
And
22.
you're starting to see the reason why Stuart Bingham has forced his way into the top 16 of the world of snooker. Anybody can have a bad session, especially when you're playing Stephen Hendry, but this is more like the Stuart Bingham we've seen over the last 2 or 3 years.
As I say, he won't be getting too
29.
concerned just yet, Stephen, but he doesn't want to keep giving Stuart easy opportunities to get into full stride.
30.
Because, as we always say this game, it doesn't matter how good you are, if you sat in your seat, you don't pot any balls. And there's nothing you can do about it. There you see it, 60 ahead, 67 remaining. Once he pots this red, there'll only be 59 remaining.
37. 38.
That's it. That's what the applause is for.
$44. 45. 53.
Well,
Stuart
pity,
Bingham,
a bit disappointed.
53.
It looked like he could have made a century, but, well, Stephen Hendry needs lots of snookers. It's 8-3. Wouldn't normally see Stephen playing on, but he just wants a bit of table time, a bit of practice. He had a couple of half chances when the frame was live, but just feels he wants to get his hand on the table, pot a few balls.
Eight. Nine. 16. 17. 22. 24. 27. 31. 36.
As I say, he just needed a bit of practice. He'd be disappointed at that positional shot off the blue, though. Can't believe he played for the pink in the middle, but in it goes.
42. Stephen Hendry, 42. From
Anyway,
11,
the frame
Stuart
was
Bingham.
well and truly over in favour of Stuart Bingham before Stephen had that little bit of table time, bit of practice. Stuart Bingham wins the second frame of this evening's session, but he still trails 8-3. Stuart Bingham gets frame 12 underway, and if he can win this one, he'll take us past the mid-session interval. I mean, when you face a deficit like Stuart did this evening, you're more or less playing for pride in the early stages. It can turn round, of course, but pride is the main motivator at the moment. Oh, well, that will help Stephen.
1.
Caught the safety shot much too thick. turned out in his favour. Look, much too thick, hit the other red, went in the pocket, nicely on a baulk colour.
Stuart will be hoping that the black being tied up will cause Stephen Hendry a problem.
Three.
Well, I wouldn't say that's one of Stephen's best positional shots. Certainly didn't want to be using the rest.
Four.
But he's played a good shot there. He's recovered the situation somewhat.
Very finely judged there to keep the
9.
cue ball in the middle of the table and to get position on this red to the left of the table. Don't think the pink goes into the corner pocket, so he's got to get up the table enough to be on the blue. A lot of cue power required here.
Ten.
Well, totally missed the fact the pink went in the middle. Can he just get through? Ooh.
Well, my first thought was he couldn't. But he got down very quickly, but now he's up again. I'm not certain he can hit enough of this pink. Well, he could. And he's played it well. Now, where does the pink go?
Moments.
Well, the fact that the referee has said 1 moment, the pink spot obviously not available. So as close to his own spot as it can. But it means that the pink's tied up, the black's tied up. So just blue and baulk colours to play for.
$16. No camera, please.
Well, that was a bonus. I didn't see that one. But he managed to find a red, which not only could he pot, he could bring the black into play. And now the black is available into both corner pockets. This is a chance to win the frame. So what a fluke the first red could turn out to be.
22.
And of course the fluke is magnified when a player of Stephen Hendry's break building class can really punish his opponent. This isn't a certainty, jacking up in the air. Very well struck.
23.
And it would appear that normal service from yesterday has been resumed.
31.
Well, forced into them, but well, he's got a red either to the left middle or the far left corner, but he was looking for something a little easier than this.
Probably about as bad an outcome as he could have got, but I'd expect him to get it though.
Stephen Hendry, 38.
Overcut it. So the fluke wasn't as costly as it could have been, as far as Stuart Bingham's concerned.
No position, but a great chance of a good safety. Not easy to keep a cue ball tight to the brown, but that's about as good as you could possibly hope for. Stuart Bingham's not guaranteed to get a leave from Stephen Hendry after this escape. But Stephen's got to pick the right route. To maximise his chances of covering everything. No problem in hitting a red.
Yes, I'm thinking of a way you could leave it and just leave it awkward. If you could come into that little cluster on the right-hand side, from the right-hand side of the table, you'd leave maybe a red to the right middle, but you'd awkward queuing. He's coming in the left-hand side. You've got to catch this just right. This is pacey. Oh, that's why. No, I never thought of that one.
Very clever shot indeed. The line he chose meant he could catch it any one of those three reds and hopefully get the cue ball to that top cushion. Stuart Bingham didn't have a shot available to put Stephen Hendry in any type of trouble there, so just getting it down the table really. Reds are going to be shifted around here a bit. Well, he wouldn't want to see it go over that pocket, so has he covered it? The answer is definitely no. A chance for Stuart Bingham to get back into this frame.
One. Five.
It was a case of too far or not far enough. I'm not quite certain which red he played on there. I presume it was the one that was round about the pink spot. You can still pot it, but it's tricky, and he's no guarantee that he's going to finish on a colour.
Probably play it as a screw shot, come up for the blue, if that's possible. But he's on the edge of how far he can reach. The screw shot with the rest is a little bit harder. And in that case, does he have another choice of shots? Can he play it as a run through? It's difficult to predict exactly how he's going to collide with the three reds to the right. even though this black is very missable, he's got to be sort of happy with that.
Yeah, it's a big shot, this. He knows if he misses it, it could cost him the frame. He's played it well. Be a big ask to win the frame of this visit with those 2 reds on the left-hand side of the table, but, well, he's got half a chance. He certainly would expect to be in front when he finishes this visit.
Yes, and that red was missable, but now you'd expect him certainly to get himself into a winning position. But how does he go about those 2 reds on the side cushion, John?
21.
It'd be nice if the pink was on the spot. At some stage that probably will be.
Yeah, I was thinking that red just near the pink is probably not available into this right corner because of the pink. So if we could get the pink on the spot, then it makes that red available into both corners, and possibility when playing the red or the colour afterwards, he could think about moving at least one of those reds away from the left-hand side cushion, because he knows he can't win the frame without them. So if you get a chance, do it sooner rather than later.
$28. $29.
If he could leave the cue ball where that red is on the right-hand side of the table after potting the red. Horrible contact. Well, awful contact. Just took all the screw back off the cue ball. He's got the long red. Yeah. White ball jumped the black into the air. He's got the long red into the green pocket.
36.
And he doesn't have to do anything with the cue ball, and he'd be in the right position to perhaps play a cannon on the red nearest the middle pocket. But he's got to pot the red.
Stuart Bingham, 36.
Well, he was unlucky with the back contact on the black, but I don't expect to miss that. But Stephen's lead has just been reduced to the 1 point. But I think he's eyeing the double up here.
Well, it didn't look on to me. Just got away with it. Stuart's got a chance of a double. Looks more likely that he could get it. Whether he plays a double is another matter.
No, he didn't attempt it. He's right back in this frame, and just got to keep a little bit of pressure on your opponent if you possibly can. I know Stephen's got this big lead and he's in the comfort zone, but just try to ruffle him slightly. And playing this, he's going to have to avoid leaving that red near the left middle. Needs a kiss on the black. Got one. But even so, he's left a chance of a pot.
Stuart Bingham's got to, in potting this red, if he wants to also have an element of insurance, has got to hit it very, very hard indeed. A stun shot and get back down into the bottom half of the table. Called it far too thick. And that's the mistake that Stephen Hendry was looking for. Well, the red's gone tight, makes it a bit harder for Stephen Hendry. Actually, a lot harder. Still expect him to clear up, though.
One.
Well, the first shot wasn't good.
One.
Well, it was a poor positional shot off the red. Fancied him potting the yellow with the rest, but should have been a lot easier than that. I don't know what to make of this match so far. It just seems to be going along, but Stephen's not getting anything out of it at the moment. Don't think is Stuart going to play the pot here? No, just playing the safety. But it's not the best safety because the red he's played, he's left. He'll be disappointed with that. And this time Stephen did knock in a long red and punished him, and I think you can just about get through to the, well, I was going to say the brown. It seems to be the easiest shot, but maybe he's got the angle on the black to get back up to that baulk cushion. Look at me, it's a long way away. Where's the black going?
Stephen Hendry, one.
Well, where it's gone is an interesting position. It's annihilated the position of the yellow for a clearance. So some tactical play to come, perhaps. Stuart Bingham got a chance to get behind those cluster of balls. He tried to get it. Has he got enough pace on the red? It looks like he may well cover behind the pink. Just a bit shy of pace. Can Stephen Hendry get through? Don't know if he can pot it. Perhaps he can. Oh, of course he can. Excellent shot.
One.
Has he got an angle on the green?
Yeah, well, whatever, he's a little bit too close to the cushion for comfort, isn't he?
Good safety shot if you fancy one.
Blue ball. Stephen Hendry, one.
Well, Stephen's, well, it's one of those, isn't it? Even if Stuart hits it, Stephen will be hoping he may leave the yellow on. But, well, not full ball yellow showing if he comes off the baulk cushion.
Oh, this is a nightmare. It's a nightmare. The referee is probably going, oh, please, no.
Yeah. I think if I was referee, I'd be standing a little at the other end of the table.
Fortunately, we've got some video evidence. When these balls are shifted around, should they be, and Stuart doesn't hit the yellow, stick them all back again. Or can he just clip it?
Well, it looks like he thinks he can.
Yes. Oh.
Oh,
Well, it wasn't a miss. Free ball's not too helpful for Stephen Hendry, so he got away with that, Stuart.
Free ball.
well, it was only the finest little edge of the yellow. You think he got away with it? I thought he was a bit unlucky to knock the green in. Now he has two choices, Stephen. He can play this shot himself, or he can put Stuart Bingham back in to play it. Personally, I think I'd put Stuart back in. And the reason I say that, if he could hit the left-hand side of the yellow, fine, but you can't. So it'd be risky, so he's put Stuart Bingham back in. Sound choice to me. I mean, you take the risk that Stuart could have got the snooker, but I'd rather my opponent play that one than me.
Yes, if Stephen Hendry can see enough of the yellow, and he doesn't fancy potting it, which I doubt he does, he could very well get it behind the black, the white ball. Be a killer snooker. No, he tried the pot.
He did, and I think he's left the yellow.
Not too sure the exact path of the white ball, whether it goes very close to the middle pocket, but he could play off 3 cushions and come out into play. There's lots of ways of trying to get this in the pocket and get on the green. Played it slowly, and that's an excellent shot. Great control. Superb control. Putting it slower was a bit harder on the nerves.
Five.
Couldn't have played that better, so Stephen's going to have to wait to get his first frame on the board this evening, because I don't think he's going to get another chance now. Stuart Bingham, 3 points behind, needs brown, blue and pink.
9. $14.
In goes the pink, so 3 frames are played. Stuart Bingham has won all 3. He still trails 8-4, but is there a light at the end of the tunnel? Well, he's not left the red to the right corner, but there's a possibility of one to the left corner here. There's a mid-session interval after this frame, and Stuart Bingham could win this one. We might be in for something special.
There's a safety shot on also that may even be a plant. Third red in from the right. Not too sure you can do both at the same time. You might be able to. Had to sacrifice the safety a bit to try the plant. And he's left Stephen Hendry what looks like a dead straight red. A horrible shot to play. Doubt he'll play it.
Yeah, that's the one, but as you say, I mean, the black's not available. Pink, not off that red, so just showing a little bit of patience.
Perhaps a Judd Trump or a Neil Robertson. Stephen Lee might have played that. Screwed back. Stuart Bingham's been left a similar shot, but is there an angle?
Slight one.
There was after he played it, that's for certain. Tester for Stephen Hendry.
Yeah.
Hasn't had much table time yet.
Excellent pot, nice angle on the blue. And
6.
lovely control of the cue ball there.
Seven.
Obligated
11.
to put a bit of mileage on the cue ball in the early part of this break.
12.
He can pot the pink, and when it respots, it's in not too bad a situation. I think it perhaps goes into 2 pockets. And this is where I always like to watch Stephen
18.
Hendry. Makes very few poor positional decisions, if any. Obviously, this shot, he's got to come up the right side of the blue. It's not just
19.
about decision making. You've got to hit the ball at the correct speed. But if you could bottle his positional sense, you'd make a fortune.
$24.
Well, I'm not quite certain now. I thought he played for the red just below the pink, but it doesn't appear as though that red goes to the right corner. No, it doesn't. I'm not quite certain what he played on. I don't think he played for this red.
$25.
Bit short of pace.
$31.
It's gone a fraction wrong here. Can he pot the red? Screw back and shift those 2 reds by the pink. Bit of noise from the other table makes it a bit harder. Oh, he spotted another one.
32.
Far better choice.
As quiet as possible, please.
Yes, that was the only red he could play and manoeuvre the cue ball, and he's just about on this green. Once again, a little bit shorter pace. He'd like to
35.
have been straighter on this red. And he pot it and hold for the pink. Tricky.
Stephen Hendry, 35.
That, to me, has been one of Stephen's weaknesses, particularly when he's striking below centre and he was trying to, I think there, screw back for the pink in the same pocket as the red, and just that little bit of extra cue power needed, and he just seems to work across them slightly, doesn't he?
Yes, just a fraction. It's enough at this level to miss the pot.
One.
Didn't hit across many shots yesterday. An awkward set of balls to try and guarantee getting back into the frame at the very least. Would be a lovely break to win the frame in this visit.
6.
Just going to see how it develops, really.
Yeah. Seven.
Well, the blue to the far left corner. Now, if it's straight enough, you could screw back and play for the red that's just above the black. And if you found a nice angle on that red, could bring the black into play. This is when people say, how many shots in advance do you look? Well, in this situation, you can look 3 or 4 shots ahead. Now, has he got the nice
12.
angle on this red? Pot it, cannon the red to the left of the black. And the black will be on. Couldn't be better.
13.
Wouldn't surprise you now if he won the frame at this visit.
Twenty. $21.
Just out far enough to be able to screw back. I think screw back. Not sure what he's doing now. Let's say this side of the table he's on now, but perhaps not from what he just lined up there. Perhaps he's going to try and break open the reds. Oh.
28.
I think if you're going to play that shot, Steve, you've got to put a little bit more pace into it, haven't you?
He was trying to finesse it. Just clip across the face of that red. Half a ball out, caused all sorts of problems.
Stuart Bingham, 28.
Bit of a stalemate situation, although I'm sure both players will be able to resolve this. But that red down by the green will cause them all sorts of problems.
Four. Stephen Hendry, 4.
Touched the white ball, didn't touch the red. If it's a miss, can you replace it?
Yeah, this is why billiards never really caught on as a spectator sport.
It's a tough re-rack to come this far in a frame, and I don't suppose either player really wants to go back in time. I think Stephen Hendry will be... I'm not too sure who would be the most pleased to have a re-rack here. I think it's a shot here to play the cue ball perhaps towards the black. Perhaps leave your opponent hampered cueing. I think that's what he's decided now. Just play it towards the black. Could cause your opponent a bit of a problem. Now Stuart can perhaps create something and resolve the stalemate.
Yeah, I think Stephen's just about covered the red in the baulk end, the potting angle of it. Whether Stuart can play safe off the red or not, I don't know.
Well, all he's got to do really is roll onto the red and snooker him behind the pink. That's the easy way. But has he seen something better? Hit the red, onto the other red, roll up behind the pink. Stephen Hendry has to get the spider out to play the two reds on the top cushion. What else has he seen? Unless he hasn't seen that shot.
As I say, I think he can get through to that red near the baulk cushion, and if he can, I don't think he can see enough of it to pot it, but he can certainly play safe off it. Well, he did decide to play that, and he's not played a good shot here.
Well, I preferred my shot, but if it had worked out well, that would have been a positive way of playing it for Stuart. So he sort of trusting a bit to luck to keep the frame alive. But Stephen Hendry's still got to knock this one in, John.
Absolutely. It's a test of a cue action, this. It's not looking so rosy.
Yeah, that one as rough as your voice there. No damage done. Stuart Bingham a bit frustrated. There's no shot he can play to really put the heat on Stephen here. Surely not another stalemate situation. Just got to dump onto the red. You know, if he plays to get the white ball down the table, it's risky, so that's all he can do is this. Here we go. A bit more tip-tapping. Stephen's going to push this red to the side cushion, or even further. Now what?
Very, very important frame, this. You just feel if Stuart Bingham's going to have any hopes of winning it, the match, that is, this frame is a must-win.
Be interesting to see from the shot selection which player fancies the stalemate or not, really. Are you going to try and tempt your opponent into something? What's Stephen doing here? He's going to try and roll behind the pink?
No, I think he's just... I don't think he can pot this red in the right middle.
Well, it looks aggressive. Has he got an element of insurance in it? He must be frustrated with the pot he played earlier. That was a bit risky. I think he's covered it.
Yeah, well, I'm looking
but not
at
the other one.
Stuart's body language, and he's definitely covered the... There you see it. But there is another red in the middle of the table, but it's one of those, if you miss it, it could cost you the frame.
So, a bit of impatience from Stephen Hendry. Will it be punished?
Decided to play it in the middle. He's just about on the black.
8.
Well, I think Stuart Bingham has just gone favourite for this frame.
Nine.
Does he try to pot the red along the top cushion? Should he get that far? Or does he play the snooker the old-fashioned way, the Ray Reardon way, as a matter of course,
14.
behind the black?
I think a lot will depend what sort of angle he gets on that red along the top cushion.
15.
I think he'd take the opportunity to try and win the frame in one visit if he possibly could, but with the knowledge of that red, if you don't get on it right, you can play the snooker.
The red not ideally placed to shift
20.
from the black. From
21.
the pink, that's another matter.
Yeah, he could play the cannon. Wouldn't blame him.
Weight dependent, but if he plays this at the right pace, he's more or less guaranteed to be on the red somehow. And somehow is about it. A horrible little cutback.
27.
A total judgment shot.
Yeah, as we say, playing into a blind pocket, you've got to pick out that spot on the red and trust that you've got the right angle. Well, he's not playing it. Oh, and he's overdone it.
Stuart Bingham,
He's
27.
overdone it. Well, he'll be disappointed there not to get the snooker. He's 16 points in front. Disappointed, didn't win the frame at that visit, but the snooker was a must. Well, I thought it may not pass the green. That could be the big turning point now in this match. Because I just got the feeling that if it had been 8-5 going into that mid-session interval, then Stuart would have all the momentum with him. But he just misjudged the cannon off the pink on that awkward last red.
6.
Didn't get the red safe. And now Stephen, I'm certain, will be breathing big sighs of relief.
9. Thirteen.
Just blue and pink needed.
18.
And in goes the pink, and I would think that's a very relieved Stephen Hendry. A very disappointed Stuart Bingham. Just for a moment it looked as though the comeback might have been on. It might still be, but it's going to be hard now. 9-4. We'll take a break. Looking at the potting angle, it's thin, and there's the full distance of the table. Almost 12 feet away, this red. As I say, thin contact. No, tough shots then. choice of reds. There's one to the right middle. It looks a lot easier on your screen than I think it is. It was one of those going across the table, across the nap. There's not a lot of nap, but it just affects the shot, particularly when you're rolling it. Just got it a fraction too thick. Good pot.
Not by any means a clear-cut opportunity here. It's going to do well to get nice position on any red.
Brown ball.
Well, if this red goes to the top of the black, that's an absolutely fantastic shot. What control that was.
Yes, an inch perfect to bring the black into play. Wow, that's unlucky. As that red, well, I think he still may have the pink, but he'd be unlucky if he's not on the black. Can he get past the red? He's looking at the pink. No, he can't get through to the black, but as I say, he's got the pink to the left middle.
Pink goes on the yellow spot.
12.
So how does he go about keeping this break going? Get the right side of the blue, and then do you split the reds up? Doesn't seem a bad choice.
13.
Yeah, I suppose a lot of it will be to do with the availability of that red that's just to the right of the black. If he could get on that red, and if it does pass the black into maybe left corner. But if not, yeah, I'm with you. Play the cannon. And no one plays it better than him, and he's played it absolutely superbly. The black's tied up.
18.
But he's still got the blue, and of course with the pink being on the yellow spot, he's got the pink he could play for and get the pink back down to this end of the table. Perfect to play the cannon and get on the black. This is frame a match-winning opportunity. Black spot not available. Highest available with the pink, but that won't bother Stephen.
27. $34. 35.
Well, a spirited recovery
42.
by Stuart Bingham looks to have been thwarted. Just a few more good positional
43.
shots. Stephen Hendry will be home and dry. OK, he missed a few balls this evening, John, but he's really got to be delighted with his first round performance.
Well, absolutely. His performance yesterday would have really delighted him, because he was producing the type of form which he keeps saying he's producing on the practice table, but not bringing it into the match table, so to speak. But yeah, he'll
58.
probably be a little bit disappointed with his performance this evening, but I think he should just look at the positives of yesterday.
59.
And of course he had a big lead, and well, no one knows better than you. You know, sometimes you just take the edge off you, can't you, when you're well in front? You just basically think you've just got to turn up and you've won. But it's never that simple. But he's taken these nicely.
66.
And just this red and a colour to get to the snooker's required stage.
67.
For the pleasure of playing John Higgins in the next round. What a match that will be.
Yeah, that will certainly be one to look forward to. And if this red goes in, I can't see Stuart Bingham coming back to the table. Be disappointed, Stuart.
75.
He had a slow start to the match. That's all I'm doing. Maybe it was a bit of nerves, and he didn't really cue well early on. And of course, if you give someone of the ability of Stephen Hendry too much of a start, then you're going to struggle, because he's like all great champions. When they get in
82.
front, they don't start looking over the shoulder. They look straight ahead. Every chance now
83.
that Stephen can finish this match with a century.
$88. 89.
Well, if he's going to make that century,
96.
he'll have to make this plant. Well, pity. But the main thing is he won the frame, gets a warm congratulations for Stuart Bingham. Disappointed for Stuart, but yesterday we saw the real Stephen Hendry. What can he produce against the reigning champion in the next round? We'll look forward to that one. He runs out a winner, 10-4, over and out.